What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Too Much Feel Good Religion. You know, what I'm talking about right now is we have too much religion that makes you feel good. You know, you felt the moment. You felt empowered. You felt inspired. But when it's time to get down and dirty and roll your sleeves up, you're on E. And it's too much, because to me it's too much feel good religion. It's too much, I'm going to sow a seed and throw some money out, and, you know, God is going to pay me back this money, this blessing loan with interest. I'm giving God this blessing loan. No. Just because something makes you feel good doesn't mean there is no hard work involved. Doesn't mean there is no struggle, there is no stress, there is no strife, there is no trial or tribulation. And I think some people just get so addicted to feeling good that they can't handle the process. And when I look at religion, it's like, if you look at Christianity, everybody has a struggle. Everybody has to really put it on the line for a period of time. And they don't even get a chance to just kick it. Just thank you. No. Joseph was put in jail and enslaved. You know, Jesus was hidden as a kid and ran off because they was trying to kill him. You know, David was given a moment and trashed a blessing. You get what I'm saying? Like, Job just went through it. Lazarus died. You know, Jesus died, right? People had, you know, what was God dog it, Ruth. She toiled and worked for a minute, you know, and all of that stuff didn't feel good. You know, these people they worked their butts off. And I think we don't take that into consideration, you know. Shadrach, what's that? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, whatever. I didn't say the names wrong. They walked in a furnace, you know. All this stuff doesn't feel good. You know, being put in a lion's den, that's not a feel good situation. And I think people want God to just like be your savior to the point where you can't be any help to anybody else who will go through it, because you just want to feel good with God. And that's not how it works. I'm just using the Bible and stuff as an example. If he was willing to get his own son killed, how come you can't go through it? You know? And the feel good part kind of hardens our hearts towards people, because I look at religion sometimes and I think to myself, if you look at Christianity, right? Jesus was a black dude born into poverty. For a country who's quote unquote religious and Christian, they don't like black dudes, but more importantly, they don't like people who are poor. So to look down on poor people because they're poor, but then go to church on Sunday and quote unquote praise Jesus, who lived in poverty basically his whole life. It's kind of like y'all on this feel good stuff to the point where y'all ignoring the reality. You know, thinking about it, like with the racial aspect of it, I don't understand how you could be religious and racist. To me, if you believe in God and you have prejudices and race and racist views, then to be perfectly honest, you working for the devil. Because when you're the type of person that looks at a person's race and deems them beneath you because of their race or religion, you know, then you just on that feel good religion. If it feels good to you to say you believe in God, but realistically, when it comes out into the real world with other people, you're completely left of what being a good person is about. You know, some people feel too good to sit down and have a conversation with their fellow man. You know, we have a hard time being in each other's space, but people walk around wearing crosses and having these fake white boy Jesus tattoos and Jesus pieces, and I'm not the God I serve is a good God. It's funny how the God you serve is a good God, but the people that say that are not that good to other people. You know, people will say things like, you know, they have jobs. It's just they can't be good to other people because business trumps God. Capitalism trumps God. And some people don't want to admit that, but that's what it is, because the religion makes you feel good, but when it comes down to a hard moment to make a choice, people can't choose God over $1. And you know that says a lot. People can't go through the fire because that feels too bad, even though they trust in God. And you got to ask yourself, how much do you trust in God? Do you have faith that it'll all work out in the end? Do you really? Because if you do, and you feel like, you know, this is the religion you believe in and this is the God you believe in, then why all the fear and skepticism? You know, what happened to be not afraid, right? That's why I say sometimes it's just feel good religion. You know. One of the most important parts of it, to me, that's too much feel good religion, is God is in you. So it's not God's responsibility to bring out the God in you. It's your responsibility to do that. But if you're just waiting on God to help you bring out the God in you, then you wasting your life. Because, you know, to fulfill your own prophecy, you're going to have to take the good with the bad. Nobody had a perfect story. And I don't think nobody should want to have a quote unquote perfect story where everything just worked out their way. I'm sure Samson didn't want his eyes plucked out. I'm sure he didn't want his girlfriend to play him and betray him and have him, in a dungeon somewhere. I'm sure he didn't want that. But he still trusted in God at the end. Went out like a G. I'm sure Moses didn't want to do the 40 days and 40 nights, that type of thing. But it's like, hey man, we got to do what we got to do. If this is the God that brought us out of Egypt, this God is letting manna fall from the heavens, like then what are we distrusting? And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm a spiritual person, but I don't think this country is very religious because I just don't see it. It's just too much. It's too much hatred in the world to tell me these people love God. You love God so much that everybody's God's child in creation, but people are willing to kill and steal and sabotage and manipulate God's children for their own personal gain, so they could to have more possessions. Like, just doesn't seem very godly to me, so that's why I say it's too much of this feel good religion, because if people like to feel good about saying they're good people, but when it comes down to what is that good feeling gonna do to spread out goodness to the world? A lot of times nothing. So it's just absent feeling to me. I might be wrong, but whatever. Just what I think.